Welcome to another episode of the Hallis Huddle Podcast. Here are your hosts, Rob Schwartz and Justin Onayemi, two Bears fans who decided talking into a microphone was better than shouting at their television.
Welcome in, Hallis Huddlers. It's been a little bit, but we are here as always. It is myself, Rob Schwartz, joined with me, my good buddy and co-host, Justin Onayemi.
Good to be here. Did we forget something?
We did not. I was hesitating.
All right.
I was hesitating. I thought maybe they forgot who we were because it's been a couple weeks.
That's right.
So, again, Hallis Huddlers, welcome in.
Huddle up.
This is episode 44. We were talking a little bit pre-game about this, or pre-show, I should say, and we came up with two names.
Well, I think really dedicated listeners might already know we had referenced one of them.
Yes.
So that one first?
Yeah, let's throw that one out there.
So Curtis Enos wore 44, but he also wore 39.
Yes, 39 is what I remember.
Yeah, and for some reason 44 stuck out to me.
Yeah, but that's probably why you didn't think of him when we were doing the 39 episode.
Maybe.
And the other one that, honestly, I think we looked this up because I didn't remember it at all, but it was Nick Kwiatkowski.
That doesn't seem right still.
It still doesn't.
I could just be having a brain fart moment. So.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to be back.
It is. It is.
It's kind of the off season, so we took a little off season too.
It is the off season. We've got some personal stuff planned for the summer, so episodes might be a little bit more sporadic. But I think we mentioned last episode that we're going to try to have one at least every other week.
Right. The NFL doesn't want you to think there's such thing as an off season.
That's right.
And they're pretty good at it. So we have some content we want to discuss and just put out some content that hopefully you guys tune in and enjoy.
Yeah. So there's been some news since last time we met. And the big thing that came out was the schedule. So that's what we're going to look at just real quick. This is going to be a quick episode. We're going to go through the game by game, and we're just going to predict if we think they're going to win or lose. Maybe give a little bit of tidbit information. I'm not going to speak too much in depth at this point. These are way too early predictions, and we'll probably revisit this again closer to the start of the season.
I like that idea. I don't know if I want to give away anything about my overall outlook or kind of discuss that at the end. So What do you think?
Yeah. We'll just go game by game, and then
and at the end,
recap.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. So I guess let's just dive right into it. The very first game of the season.
Well, cool enough. When the release came out, one of the really cool things was the first game of the season and the last game of the season are both against the same opponent.
Yes, that's true. The Green Bay Packers are coming to town. I do have tickets for sale. They are out there if you want to buy them on StubHub. Section 131, row 2. Feel free to find them.
Are we contractually obligated to call them the Aaron Rodgers-less Green Bay Packers?
I think that's true. Or we could just call them never mind. I was going to say loveless, but I guess that's kind of...
That's really dark.
Yeah.
Save that for your best case, worst case.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, so you want to kick it off?
Yeah, Bears versus Packers. This Jordan Love era is going to kick off. He has not played a lot. This is going to be his first, game coming into him knowing he's the starter for the season, and it's not going to go well for them. Chicago's winning this one.
I love that we get to go right up against Green Bay right at the very beginning, and Jordan Love, he's got pressure on him because he's replacing a legend, and I just hope that this is the beginning of a trend where the Bears can now take over Green Bay. So I also have the Bears with a win in week 1. They won week 1 last year.
They did.
That didn't bode well the rest of the way.
They did.
But I have them at 1-0.
Well, if you like the fact that we have Chicago beating the Packers in week 1, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. This is the content that we're going to be bringing all off season.
If later you don't like one of your picks, you're not allowed to unlike them.
Yes, that's right. That's right. And leave comments. Definitely leave. We want to hear your guys' predictions. So leave comments. I try to respond to those 24 to 48 hours. So leave comments. We love to hear from you guys. Okay, so week 2, they're going to be on the road. They're going down to the heat of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is not the Tom Brady-led Buccaneers, by the way. This is the Baker Mayfield led Buccaneers. And I, for that reason, have Chicago winning this game too.
So everything you just said kind of entered my mind as well. I remember a couple years back, they had an early season trip to Miami, and they looked gassed. So, like, the weather, for all we know, could be a factor, but I agree with you. Once again, you have a legend leaving. He didn't create his legend in Tampa, but you're going from Tom Brady to just a guy.
Yeah.
So, Bears with a tough road win, 2-0.
2-0. Whew.
I do not have them going 17-0.
I might. I don't know. We'll see. All right, week 3. This was a big to-do, right? Everyone thought this was going to be, including myself. There was tabloids coming out of Germany that Chicago was going to be facing the Kansas City Chiefs on the road in Germany. Maybe they didn't want to lose that home game because the Bears travel better than Kansas City does, especially internationally. Or they just wanted Chicago fans to come down and eat their barbecue. I'm not sure. Either way, I don't think they're scared of Chicago as an opponent. And this is Patrick Mahomes we're talking about.
I imagine KC's selling out every home game. So maybe they didn't want to give up a home game to anyone.
That's true.
But I don't know who has say in all that stuff.
Yeah, they got to basically choose one team that they wouldn't go up against.
So we did not talk about our picks.
We did not.
But if you have them winning here, I am thinking you're going 17-0.
I have them losing.
All right. And I also have them losing. I mean, we hope that's what the Bears are trending towards, being a team that other teams are like, oh boy, this isn't going to go well. And that's how I feel about that game.
Yeah, it's going to be not a good game.
But, it hopefully reminds me a little bit of going into the Dallas game of the season that just passed.
Yes.
Where it kind of felt like they were going to get blown out. And then they ended up actually getting blown out.
But it was a lot closer than it seemed.
And I hope those are the types of games that they don't let go this season.
How close they were against Miami. Look at how close they were against Philly. I mean, those
Buffalo.
are top. Yeah, I mean, those are great teams.
That might have been weather aided, but still.
Sure.
You play your schedule.
I mean, and Buffalo,
they're a cold weather team.
Exactly. It's not like they're not used to playing in snow and stuff. Right.
So we both have them at 2-1.
2-1. All right. We're going to go.
They come home.
Oh, they come home. Mm-hmm. Yes. Chicago versus the Denver Broncos. Russell Wilson, we thought this team was going to be really good last year, compete with the Kansas City Chiefs, and that did not go as expected.
So last year their big ad was Russell Wilson. This year, do you know who their big ad is?
The coach.
The coach.
Okay, I was gonna say, they got rid of Nathaniel Hackett, right?
You had to.
He couldn't hack it.
Dad joke number 1. Let's see how many we can get in there.
If you like dad jokes, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. We got lots of them. So they go out and they get Sean Payton.
Your tone makes me think you think that's not a good move.
No, I think it's a great move,
okay.
and I have Chicago losing because of it.
Yeah.
I think Denver's going to be a much improved team.
I agree. I mean, we thought last year they were going to be one of those teams with that division. I mean, my goodness.
We had Russell Wilson as our fantasy player.
Yeah, that did not go well. That's probably why he did so bad.
If we don't pick him this year, he's going to be like league MVP.
So I also have them losing that game. It was one of the games, though, I really wanted to say win. And hopefully, there's possibility. And a lot of things can happen in the NFL. We know this, UFFL, we go through every week, look at every game.
Yes. And
every week we're like, that happened? No, come on. How did this? So, but I have them losing, evening up their record at 2-2. I think Denver is going to be a really good team.
I agree.
Or the potential for it.
So 2-2, 500. Now they're back on the road.
And short week.
And they're going up against the Washington Commanders. This is the Sam Howell or Jacoby Brissett-led Commanders. And, I can't imagine Jake Fromm's going to be the guy. But maybe those two falter this early and Jake Fromm's at court under the center. I don't know. But they have a good defense. I just don't think it's good enough. I don't think their offense is good enough. I have Chicago winning this game.
So this is where I'm going to point out something that I did kind of learn about the schedule. The Bears are the only team in the NFL that will never play a team on shorter rest than they are. So they're playing on Thursday, but Washington also has to play on Thursday after playing on Sunday. Last year, when they played on Thursday, that was almost the end of Thursday night football. Like, they almost decided to just cancel it because it was a miserable, horrible game. And I think it was like maybe the third straight miserable game on Thursday night.
Yeah. I think that's why they're now like allowing it to be flexed, right?
Yeah, later in the season.
Yeah, and they're also now not every team has to play on Thursday night.
But are they going to flex it after they watch the first half? Like, no.
Right.
Sorry, this is over. Let's bring out 2 more teams. No. So I think the Bears are an improved team. I think that was a game last year that they should have won. As you just mentioned, Washington's going through some changes. I have the Bears winning this and going to 3-2.
All right, so we're both at 3-2.
And we did not discuss this.
We did not discuss this.
I'm very curious how long we'll stay consistent.
Well, let's see. Chicago comes back home, and it's a divisional game, another divisional game. This is the second one. This will be against the Minnesota Vikings, and it'll be interesting, to see the difference between these two teams' draft classes. We saw Chicago went all in on athleticism, where Minnesota kind of did not. And it'll be interesting to see how these two shake out over the next few years. Minnesota's the better team, but I think Chicago comes away with this win.
So here's an example. The Bears have a mini bye, in essence, coming into this game. And last year we saw one of their best performances of the season, and I'm talking Justin Fields, but also the way the whole team played, was after that mini bye into the New England game. Now, granted, it was a mini bye after being embarrassed.
Yes.
And we're hoping this is a mini bye after playing well. But I have them winning here. I don't know if it spoils it. I kind of always look at the division as, are you taking 2 from this team? Are you losing 2 to this team? Or are you splitting?
Yep.
I could see this being a split, but I'm going to give the Bears the win in this case. I have them going to 4-2.
All right, same. We're still on the same track here. Okay, now they are still at home. They're going to be against the Oakland Raiders.
Las Vegas.
I'm sorry. Oh, wow. I wrote down Oakland Raiders. That's so bad. Las Vegas Raiders against Jimmy Garoppolo. Will he be healthy or not? He might not even be healthy by this game. We'll have to see. But I'm assuming he's healthy, and I have Chicago losing this game. I think it's one of those ones that they should win, but they're going to lose.
So I think I'm tipping my hand here a little bit. And trust me, you can keep receipts. You can talk to me later when I'm very, very wrong, or if I'm right, but I really think the Bears are going to have a good season. And I think this is a game that tests that. If the offense is clicking, if the Fields to DJ Moore is a thing, which also opens up Claypool and Mooney and Komet, and you have weapons, and your defense, I think, has improved. It can't really be worse.
Right.
But I have them winning this game. It's our first change.
Yeah.
I have them at 5-2, and that's why I was like, holy cow. Like, this,
all right.
We'll see.
5-2, 4-3.
Okay.
All right, week 8. The Los Angeles Chargers. Chicago is on the road, taking a road trip. The Chargers are a really good team with Justin Herbert. They have a really good defense. I have no hope that Chicago wins this game.
So, because we look at every single week, I can tell you the Chargers are one of those teams, when you think they're going to win, they let you down. When you think they might lose, I also have the Bears losing this game, though. But I put a little asterisk by it just because I could see it being one of the games that goes the other way.
Yeah.
But I also could see them losing to Las Vegas the week prior. Right, I kind of tried to even those out. So I have them dropping to 5-3.
And I am at
4-4.
Back to 500. Okay, week 9, they're going to be on the road again. Back-to-back road games. They're going to face the New Orleans Saints. This is no longer the Drew Brees, Sean Payton team. They are going to have what used to be Las Vegas quarterback, Derek Carr, under center. I think that is an upgrade. And I am a Jameis Winston fan, but he just couldn't pan out there. Health issues too. I think adding Jamal Williams was important for them too. Him and Alvin Kamara. Michael Thomas coming back. Chris Olave. They added A.T. Perry. I think this is going to be a really tough offense, and I think the Bears are going to lose and drop to under 500.
I think New Orleans is a pretty solid team. I like the addition of Derek Carr. Also, it's not an easy place to play. Yeah. They'll be going back-to-back road games. I have them losing this one, dropping to 5-4.
All right, now I'm at 4-5. All right, week 10. This is going to be a very important game because there's a draft pick involved. They're going to be facing the Carolina Panthers at home. I'm sorry, Bryce Young is not cutting it. I'm not a Bryce Young super fan. I don't know if people have seen him in camp. He looks like a midget out there. Sorry, probably not the right use of words there, but very small, very short. He's going to get hit hard to start his NFL career. I think the Bears win this game.
So will we get to see Fields versus Young, or is Young already banged up at this point?
It could be. It's week 10.
Well, I don't like to project those types of things, but I hope that the Bears are a better team than Carolina. It's on a Thursday night, short rest for both teams. I hope Fields is closer to being that guy than Young is. And for that reason alone, I have them winning. So I have them going up to 6-4. And I think you're at 5-5.
I am. Week 11, they are on the road, finally meeting up with the Detroit Lions. Week 11, I don't have this in front of me, but is this is not Thanksgiving Day, is it?
No. Okay. This is a Sunday noon game.
Okay.
November 19th.
November 19th. We're getting close to Thanksgiving. The Chicago Bears are winning this game. I have no reason for it other than I just think the Detroit Lions are going to find a way to be the Detroit Lions. They are easily the best team in this division on paper right now. They showed it last year after starting off horribly in the beginning of the year, came on strong. They find ways to lose, and they're going to lose this game.
So I believe both times the Bears play the Lions, they have extra rest. So this is another mini bye scenario. Granted, the Bears' actual bye is very late in the season, so it's kind of nice they're going to have these two mini byes. I know some people didn't like that they have 2 Thursday night games, but hey, it is what it is. That being said, I still have them losing, and I just think you're going on the road in the division. Detroit has a very good chance right now, I say, as being the front runner to win this division. So that's a tough game. I have them losing and dropping to 6-5. You have them winning, so I think we still both now have them at 6-5.
Yep. All right. Week 12. Chicago's going on the road to play the Minnesota Vikings. It wasn't many games in between the last time these two met. I have Chicago splitting with the Vikings this year, and they're going to lose on the road in Minnesota.
I also have them losing. It is a Monday night game, and Kirk Cousins is not known for his primetime brilliance, but I kind of spoiled it earlier. I think Vikings are a tough team. Bears split with them this season is a success. I had them winning the earlier game that was at home. I have them losing this one on the road, so I have them dropping to 6-6, as you do.
All right. Now, week 13 is their bye week, so they're going to get a lot of rest before they meet the Detroit Lions at home. I have Chicago splitting this with the Lions, just like I do with the Vikings. It's going to be a close game, not like it was for Justin Fields to end of the season. Not quite end the season, but towards the end of the season last year. Probably had his worst game. I think he had 33% completion percentage, just a really rough game. But Chicago is going to lose this one. And, yeah.
That was still a winnable game, though.
It was, but it was bad.
It was bad. It's interesting.
The interception that he threw to
his teammate,
Aiden Hutchinson.
Oh,
was just
that one.
Yeah.
That one I thought was on the road. I'm talking about when they played Lions at home.
I'm talking about I think it was the second to last game of the season.
Okay.
It was against Detroit, and it was
Yeah.
His worst performance.
Okay.
After 6-7 weeks of dominance after the New England game.
Okay, so I have them splitting with the Lions this year, but I had them losing when they went on the road, which means I have them winning this one and going to 7-6, and you have them at 6-7.
All right, week 15, Chicago at Cleveland Browns. This is Deshaun Watson. This is going to be the game that is going to haunt Justin Fields. He kind of came back and, did okay in the preseason against them last year. Everyone kind of thought that was I think he threw 3 touchdowns that game. Everything was clicking. I don't know. Just, going up against that defense, he's going to see a little bit of ghosts, going to come back at him. He's going to play well, but not well enough, and Chicago's going to lose on the road.
That preseason game, he was making all the throws.
Yeah.
So I know it's preseason. But for people who think he's a running back, I don't know how many different throws he made. He was changing arm angles, finding little small windows to throw through. It was a great game. It was a preseason game. I also have them losing this game. I just think Cleveland's a good team. That's on the road. tough place to play, as he found out.
Yes.
He was thrown to the wolves in that game.
Oh, it was
so I don't
bad.
know if that's quite
won't
a good
be the
comparison.
same.
But
No.
you're saying from a mental standpoint.
Yes.
I hope he's mentally stronger than that. I still have them losing 7-7 for me.
Yeah, and there's games that teams always like look like they should win and lose, and teams or games that like, oh, you should definitely be losing, and then somehow they win. So,
Right. So you have them at 6-8, I believe.
Yes.
Or wait, 6. Yeah, I think you're one behind me.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Week 16 against the Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray should be back for this game. It's kind of up in the air at this point on when he's going to be fully healthy, but either way, I don't care. Justin Fields is going to make him look like he deserves to be benched, and this game is going to be a dominant game for the Bears, and they're going to win.
I hope you're right. I mean, I think looking at this schedule, we've known for a long time who they would be playing. It's just a matter of when. And this was a team I liked their matchup against, and now you get it towards the end of the season. So it's a great time for a home win. A team coming all the way across the country to play you. I think the Bears win this. I have them at 8-7.
All right, 2 weeks left. Week 17, Chicago versus the Atlanta Falcons. Ryan Pace's somewhat team. The Atlanta Falcons have a lot of offensive weapons. Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Desmond Ridder. They just got Bijan Robinson. It's going to be a tough test for that Bears defense. But the Chicago offense is going to just put up some solid numbers. It's going to be a tight, high-scoring game, probably in the mid-20s. Chicago's going to win.
I think all those weapons you talked about with Atlanta play very well in a dome.
Yeah.
But this is being played on New Year's Eve in Chicago.
Yeah.
Bears, I have them at 8-7 going into this game. I don't think Atlanta's going to be a very good team. I know that division kind of is up in the air in terms of who might come out and take it. But I'm hoping the Bears are at this point playing for something, and I have them winning and going to 9-7.
All right. Last game of the year, Chicago goes to the Green Bay Packers. I wanted this to be a win. I really did. I just don't feel like Chicago's at that point yet where they can take divisional games well. I want to say they only won one last year off the top of my head. They're going to lose this game. It's going to be a split with Green Bay, a split with the Vikings, a split with the Lions. I'm okay with the 3-3 record, but that's going to put me at an 8-9 record overall.
So if they're 9-7, they're playing for a playoff spot, which is kind of crazy. I mean,
I don't think
potentially.
So. I don't think so. I think it's kind of a weak
If you end up at 10-7?
No, I'm saying I don't think it's crazy.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it is a weak schedule.
Yeah.
So I'm going to, after I make this pick, I pretty much have to start defending it right away. I think they're going to beat Green Bay twice this year.
I hope they do.
So that puts me at 10-7. That makes me one of the people that a lot of people think is a clown and that kind of thing. You can say it. I'm fine. It's fine. Obviously, this may not happen.
Right.
But I just do think there's reason for optimism towards the future.
Yeah.
Is the future this season? Maybe, maybe not. It really depends a lot on, honestly, one player in Justin Fields. And we know it's a team sport, obviously, but the team got better.
Right.
The line that is in front of him is better. The receivers that he'll be throwing to are better. The defense has gotten better. And at the time of this episode, I hope there are still some things to come that are going to make this team better. I would say whatever the over-under is being set at, I'm kind of hearing 7.5. Have you heard 8.5? Or
I've heard 7.5.
7.5?
Yeah.
I would take the over. Will 10 happen? I don't know. Most likely not. Could it happen? I mean, each of those games that I said, were there any that you were like, no, there's no way they're going to win that?
No, I had a hard time not picking more wins. I'm trying to be less bear goggles on when it comes to this team this year because I had them at 9 wins last year and they got 3.
Right.
So
they were 1-8 in single score games.
Yes.
Okay. So with this roster and a year more in the system, I would hope you win half of those.
Right.
And right there, you go from 3 to 6.
And I like I said, any game could go one way or the other, and 8 could easily become 10. And playoffs aren't out of questions. Even at 8-9, going into that last game, like say they beat Green Bay and they get that 9th win, that could be a playoff team.
Yeah. I mean, they were 1-8 in one-score games. With the improvements I think they've made, you win more of those. but maybe you're playing 1-score games with teams that you were not, kind of like we said with Dallas.
Yeah.
So I know that's an overly optimistic view. But then again, even with a lesser talented team, I've seen random Bears teams go 12-4 that you weren't ever expecting. So
2018.
We'll see. We'll see. Exactly.
I have that.
This Trubisky guy.
I have that hat somewhere. In fact, I might wear it for the next episode.
There you go. All right.
Well, we went through each game.
I can't wait to read the comments.
I came up with 8 wins. Justin came up with 10. I don't think either are out of the realm of possibility. Please leave comments. Tell us how many games you think they're going to win. Maybe yell at us on the games that we had they have no chance of winning, or maybe we're not giving them the opportunity to win some games that you think, oh man, they could cream the Cleveland Browns, right? Like, leave those in the comments. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button.
10 might be too high. They won't have less than 6.
There we go. All right. That's it. Bear down.
Bear down.